If there's a place where the worst and most decadent things can happen, it's at billionaire parties. These are extravagant events where the super rich indulge in all-night revelries, champagne flows like water, and every desire is fulfilled. But behind the glittering lights and lively music lie dark secrets that the media can't reveal. In these gatherings, the wealthy are willing to spend lavishly on depraved pleasures and engage in unbelievably insane actions. These parties are awash with drugs, sex, and horrifyingly wild activities. Naked women lie scattered, accompanied by the perversions of billionaires. Let's uncover the dark side of billionaire parties. It's no surprise that billionaire parties have loads of girls around, but these girls in particular are porn stars, supermodels, and even prostitutes, and instead of sitting around drinking, these girls are subjected to the most sexist and demeaning treatment imaginable. They are there to entertain the billionaires, inflate their egos, and make them feel like kings of the universe. One notorious billionaire known for having women at his parties is Silvio Berlusconi, infamous for his pleasure parties. Berlusconi is famous for his extravagant sex parties and once owned the Italian football club AC Milan. He remained Italy's richest man for a decade, hosting these parties at his heavily guarded mega mansion. Have you heard of the Bunga Bunga party? If not, you're about to enter its terrifying world. This is a naked party, and many activities at these Bunga Bunga parties were revealed by Fidel. She is one of at least 3 women who came forward to refute Berlusconi's claims that the parties at his Milan mansion in 2010 were just banquets with wine, food, chatting, and singing. Much of his life was embroiled in lawsuits and cases related to these infamous sex parties involving young girls. Fidel claimed she refused to stay overnight and asserted that those who stayed were paid extra for sex. The girls worried about contracting diseases but still competed to stay because those who did earned more money. Fidel admitted she attended these parties at Berlusconi's mansion to secure a hosting job at one of his TV channels. The parties were organized by Nicole Manetti, a former TV actress now a regional councillor in Berlusconi's party, and Emilio Fade, a former broadcaster on one of Berlusconi's channels. Manetti was also one of the strippers dressed as nuns. To convince another beauty, Ambra Battilana, to attend his party, Berlusconi promised to promote her to a weather presenter. Another beauty named Chiara Denise was promised a job at the TV station if she obediently became a guest at a Bunga Bunga party. Many VIPs attended Berlusconi's parties, and before joining, Berlusconi required all beauties to sing a song praising him in French and Italian. During this phase, the girls wore masks and performed erotic dances. In the next part of the party, they would twist and strike seductive poses to entertain the guests. In 2011, Italian security obtained photos of the party leaked by a guest. The images showed provocatively dressed girls writhing and kissing each other to excite the guests. Afterward, Berlusconi would select a few girls to spend the night with. For the billionaire and his friends, the winner of the dance competition was honored to sleep with Berlusconi at the end of the night. However, dancing wasn't the only activity. A special Bunga Bunga session took place in a room resembling a disco. Here, the girls performed stripteases and erotic dances after dinner in what was called the Bab Bunga room. Some of them even dressed like Obama and engaged in semi-erotic caresses. Even the alcohol at this outrageous party was exclusively Amaro Nomino. It seemed Berlusconi only cared about sexual aspects, neglecting everything else. New girls often had to endure hunger while still performing seductively. According to witnesses, their hunger was a minor issue compared to the frustration of the guests. It turned out Berlusconi called the girls solely for his enjoyment, while the guests could only be visually satisfied despite their burning desire. What do you think about this? Share your thoughts below. Another bizarre detail is that the girls sometimes dressed as sexy nuns during these erotic performances. Why would they succumb to this? Because they received bags of jewelry, expensive gifts, TV jobs from Berlusconi, and sometimes even free rental homes. Besides Bunga Bunga, there were many other horrifyingly wild parties where prostitutes were trapped, including Hollywood stars. Actress Janice Page once recounted being forced by an MGM studio executive to meet a man she had never met at a year-end party. She wasn't the only one forced to entertain, but Janice fought back and escaped. She kept this secret until she was 95, when she revealed it to The Hollywood Reporter. Dancer Patricia Douglas recalled being invited along with over 100 others to perform at a party. She was trapped, forced to drink, drugged, and assaulted. Patricia wished she could erase the memory of that night. Since then, whenever she saw celebrities or businessmen partying, she felt scared and referred to them as monsters in human disguise. Expensive parties are the perfect cover for commercial exploitation, vice, and prostitution. Behind the luxurious and elegant facade, there's a darkness not everyone can see. What do you think about this? Share your thoughts. Not only in the US but also in South Korea, there are such parties. Seungri, a member of the famous band Big Bang with significant wealth, organized a grand birthday party in Palawan, Philippines, in December 2017, hoping to attract investors' money. At that party, Seungri allegedly brought about 10 employees who were reportedly hired to engage in sexual activities for the wealthy guests he invited. Through their connections, he planned to invest in building the largest club in Gangnam, if not all South Korea, the Burning Sun Club. This club later became notorious as the largest prostitution ring in South Korea. Another indispensable element of billionaire parties is drugs such as cocaine, ecstasy, cannabis, LSD, and hallucinogenic mushrooms. While often described as keys to opening up wild celebrations, they hide unimaginable dangers. According to WSJ sources, billionaire Elon Musk has used LSD, cocaine, ecstasy, and hallucinogenic mushrooms, usually at private parties worldwide where attendees sign non-disclosure agreements or leave their phones outside. Evidence of this is the horrifying story of a drug-fueled party on billionaire Henry Nicholas's private jet in 2007. At first glance, Henry Nicholas appears to be a polite, gentle billionaire internet mogul and the founder of the charitable organization Justice for Murder Victims, Inc., a non-profit supporting families of murder victims. As of June 2021, Nick was ranked 520th on Forbes' list of the world's richest billionaires with a net worth of approximately $5.7 billion. However, a series of dark facets behind this billionaire have left many horrified. This billionaire dared to host a party so filled with cannabis smoke that the pilot had to wear an oxygen mask to operate the plane. Fortunately, no tragedy occurred, but this incident serves as a wake-up call about the recklessness and danger of excessive drug use. By 2020, Nicholas was still struggling with alcohol and drug addiction, and the court ordered him to undergo rehabilitation to avoid jail time for illegal substance use. In 2007, another billionaire, Adam Neumann, followed Nicholas's example, taking partying and drug use on planes to a new level. Known for his love of partying, Neumann turned every flight into an opportunity to go wild with cannabis and luxurious pleasures. The consequences of these drug parties affect not only the health of the participants but also cause significant damage to the crew and aircraft. The crew often had to endure the stifling atmosphere, smoke and noise, affecting their health and ability to work. Aircraft were also damaged by the irresponsible behavior of these drugged-out guests. A private jet company filed an official complaint against Adam Neumann and his friends for destructive behavior during a lavish party on the plane. The tequila-soaked party led to out-of-control actions. Guests threw tequila at each other, damaging parts of the plane. Adam Neumann's recklessness wasn't limited to the plane. On the ground, he also engaged in dangerous behaviors due to drug overdose. When people tried to stop him, Neumann screamed that he could buy the entire hotel. Running out of firewood and unable to find anything else, Neumann didn't hesitate to throw picnic items into the fire to keep the party going. To save partying time, Neumann often held meetings or job interviews on private jets or in luxurious cars. Building a $100 billion empire required the collective effort of all company employees. Everyone on this journey had to be ready to live and breathe the WeWork way. Meetings led by Neumann lasted for hours and always had alcohol. In August 2018, Neumann hosted a party for employees. The company paid for airfare, but employees had to sleep in tents. If they wanted better accommodation with electricity, they had to pay extra. One person described, "Oh my God, that summer camp was terrible. They had sex in the bushes or wherever they liked. They openly used stimulants. You could hear them having sex in the tents day and night. People urinated and defecated right between the tents because they were too drunk to make it to the bathroom." Adam Neumann isn't the only billionaire hosting lavish parties associated with drugs. What do you think about Adam's party? Leave your comments below. However, despite the dangers and consequences of drugs, the next dark secret of billionaire parties is even worse. This secret will be revealed in the next part of the video, promising to outrage many. The next secret of billionaire parties is much worse when these billionaires are sued but remain indifferent, even spiking guests' drinks. Henry Nicholas, the founder of Broadcom, is notorious for his extravagant and wild parties where drugs are rampant. He frequently spiked guests' drinks with ecstasy, turning the parties into uncontrolled orgies. However, Nicholas's actions led to serious consequences. Twice he was sued by people accusing him of drugging them. Court documents showed Nicholas secretly spiked many people's drinks with MDMA, including tech CEOs and sales representatives. Despite the lawsuits, Nicholas showed no remorse. Instead, he became even more reckless in supplying drugs to guests. Nicholas began spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on cocaine and ecstasy, and even required party organizers to always have drugs stocked at his house. Nicholas's drug purchases were revealed in court, showing he once bought 300 ecstasy pills for $115,000. The effects of these wild parties are undeniable. When the drugs kicked in, guests often lost control, leading to dangerous and thoughtless actions. Nicholas's parties exemplify a toxic party culture where drugs are used irresponsibly. The consequences of overdose, sexual assault, or drug driving are severe and can affect a person's entire life. What do you think of this person? Leave your thoughts below. Maybe having sex at a billionaire party sounds strange to most people. It's normal at billionaire parties after being addicted to drugs and surrounding themselves with beautiful women. These billionaires take things to a new level at Silvio Berlusconi's Bunga Bunga parties, where it's normal for him to have sex with the contest winner. Henry Nicholas even provides prostitutes for his employees, clients, and anyone attending his parties. Similarly, music mogul Diddy is notorious for hosting sex parties. Diddy's parties include bizarre activities where girls have sex with male prostitutes while Diddy watches. This even led to a lawsuit from his ex-girlfriend Cassie, who claimed that Diddy forced her to participate against her will and then made her cuddle all night. Diddy would choose a girl and then go into different rooms to cuddle with the girls all night. Clearly, if photos or videos of these sex parties were leaked, it would ruin the reputations and careers of some of the most powerful men in the world. Why are these millionaires always ready to write fat checks and bribe people into silence? Share your thoughts below. There's a saying, money can't buy happiness, but for the super rich, it can buy silence. Billionaire parties have long been infamous for their extravagance, but behind the dazzling lights and lively music lie dark secrets they will go to any lengths to conceal. One of the most common secrets is bribing witnesses to cover up wrongdoings. A prime example is billionaire Silvio Berlusconi, who was accused of bribing a witness with $1 million to hide the truth about his wild Bunga Bunga parties. While $1 million is a vast sum for many, it's just a small amount compared to Berlusconi's $6 billion fortune. Similarly, right-wing billionaire Gianfranco Bettinelli was accused of paying millions of euros to cover up a sex scandal. He claimed the money was for compensation to those affected by the scandal, but many believe it was a bribe for their silence. Aside from direct bribery, billionaires also use money to buy silence in other ways. In 2002, billionaire Henry Nicholas paid an employee $1 million to keep quiet about his drug parties. More recently, rapper P. Diddy was accused of paying his ex-girlfriend Cassie to settle a sexual harassment lawsuit. Combs allegedly raped her and forced her to have sex with male prostitutes. Diddy was ready to pay $10 million to prevent Cassie from telling the world what she had seen at these billionaire parties. But how can these billionaires permanently prevent these leaks from happening? That's one of the secrets of billionaire parties. These scandals clearly show that billionaires are willing to pay vast amounts of money to protect their reputations. They use power and money to conceal dark secrets and silence those who dare to expose them. What do you think about this? Share your thoughts below. An essential element of a billionaire party is the location. To ensure privacy for their wild revelries, they often choose secluded places out of the public eye. Adam Newman preferred to host wild parties at 30,000 feet, enjoying absolute privacy in the air. Henry Nicholas, the party animal of the super rich, even built a private warehouse for lavish parties. This place includes a 6-person hot tub, bedrooms, and secret tunnels for discreet movement. He even used these tunnels to smuggle prostitutes and illegal drugs into the parties. Compared to these locations, Philip Green was even bolder. To ensure privacy for himself and his guests for his 55th birthday, he took 100 of his closest friends to the Maldives. This 5-day party included 3,000 bottles of champagne, dancers, chefs, spectacular fireworks, and many other delights. Meanwhile, Ronald Perelman chose his 188-foot yacht as the party venue. It's hard to imagine a more lavish and private party than one in the middle of the vast ocean. Other billionaires go so far as to rent entire private islands just for their parties. What do you think of these extravagant locations? Share your thoughts. No matter the location, one indispensable element of a billionaire party is alcohol. However, these aren't ordinary drinks but rare wines and premium-aged whiskeys. Unique, creative cocktails are also favored to liven up the atmosphere. Guests can enjoy exquisite cocktails prepared by the world's most skilled bartenders. Alcohol at billionaire parties isn't just a recreational drink, but a symbol of status and class. The wealthiest people in the world are willing to spend enormous amounts to savor the most expensive wines and spirits. For example, billionaires often choose Bombay Sapphire Revelation, a limited edition gin priced at $200,000, contained in a gem-shaped bottle adorned with crystal and sapphire gems. Another example is Macallan whiskey, a symbol of luxury and elegance. So we have explored the dark side of billionaire parties. What do you think of these parties? Would you like to experience one? Do you want us to cover any other topics? Remember to comment and share your thoughts. Thank you for watching our video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with our latest videos. See you in the next videos.